And just maybe talk about Colby Cave and if you're maybe familiar with him and if he's drawn into the lineup tonight.
I really haven't watched him play myself, other than a couple of games here on the plane coming in. But we've got a lot of reports on him, and he's just a solid player. He's a guy that's going to help us depth-wise. He's a guy that can play in that bottom six role, and we want to get him started, play him tonight, and see how he looks, and then see where we adjust from there. So we don't really know what to expect until we get a couple of games under his belt, but competitively wise, he's a good player, and I think he's going to help us at that center ice position.
And how about reinforcements internally? Is Yamamoto drawn back in?
Yamo's back in today, and Petro's not. We'll wait till Saturday's game for Petro, and then put him in on the weekend here.
Yamo's playing the second line, or where's Yamo?
He's going to play with Nugent, Hopkins, and Luch.
Can Noah Elias Pettersson this time around, when you face the Vancouver Canucks, how do you make adjustments, or what does that mean to your team here when number 40 isn't going to be in the lineup?
Well, our problem hasn't been, when their forwards, they got good forwards, and they're really strong at the center ice position. But our problem is that we haven't been able to get to the defense, and their defense is underrated. It's experienced. They play the game the right way. They're able to escape trouble, and I think that's been the two games for us as being how well. The one thing we've picked up is how well that group back there has played, and we've got to dig in a little bit deeper against them if we expect to beat them, because they escaped from a lot of trouble, from a lot of pressure, and they made a lot of smart plays that got it into the forwards' hands. And I think, to me, that group back there has been kind of the story of the first two games.
Yeah, what's at stake tonight? Two teams below the playoff bar, but right there. It's mid-January, but how high are the stakes in a game like this one?
Well, I just think every game is a sudden death elimination game, and you play and you move on. We're going to be like this for a couple of months, and it's just the way it is. You're going to play well in some games and not win, or you're going to have some really emotional wins or losses, and we've run the gauntlet here in the last week on those, and I don't see it changing. You want to play well. I think the big thing for us is that how organized is our own game. I think right now we're spending very little time on the opposition and 90% of the time on us and trying to get us better. We've taken some hits on the back end that have impacted the way we've played the game, and we're trying to gather those in and get better and better. And I think at the end of the day, these emotional games and these games where both teams seem to be pouring everything in and like it's game sevens, you're going to have to deal with that for the balance of the season.
I've only seen him play the one game, and what did you see in the one game where you think, okay, you can slide him right back in on the second?
Well, I like his moxie, and I want to see how he looks. He's got moxie on the ice. He's got speed. He's got skill. I think we got to make an evaluation. I know we got two younger guys playing right wing right now, guys that are not a lot of experience, but I'd like to see how both guys look before we go back to the conservative approach. So this is a wild card, but we'll try it.
Cassian was watching Pettersson this morning in awe, and he said, when I played in Vancouver, I was 20 pounds heavier, and I'm down to 207. I know it's a young man's game, but should you make the playoffs or even down the stretch, do you still need those 200-plus pound guys to bump and grind, and how does Cass fit into that mix?
I think weight's not relevant. Foot speed is. If you can't keep up, I don't care what your height and weight is. It's a speed game from that standpoint, and that's why him and Luch can handle it, because both guys can keep up. This is the best Luch has skated since I've seen him play here, and Cassian more than can keep up speed-wise. So I think they can be effective, but you also the puck's got to be part of the game too, Ben. And I think when their puck play is strong like it is right now with both guys, then they're very effective players. But if you're just chasing the game, or if you lack foot speed and you're two steps behind, you have a tough time keeping up in this sport right now.
Comment on Colby, and do you like the idea in your kind of coaching history of when you get a new guy, if you can, you put him in and kind of see him right away?
We got to make him part of the team right away. He's got to feel the energy in the locker room, and I know yesterday was a long travel day for him, but we got to get him part of the team right away and see what we got. And we've had a hole and we need it filled, and we've tried everybody we can in there. I think it impacts us in two ways. It puts JJ to the left side where he's much more familiar and he's a better player for us there. So I think it impacts it positively in two places.
Shot shy a right shot in center, or you only got one.
Well, I don't think it's so much the right shot. I think it's can you win it on the right side. And one of the problems is our right side face-off dots have not been great all year. And, you know, it doesn't matter who's over there. We've struggled on that side of the dot. So, you know, we need better play on that face-off dot, especially in our own zone. We've lost some points because we've lost face-offs in that area. Yeah, they're both.
Same third pairing.
Yeah, no change there.
Coach, McDavid's had almost unprecedented ice time this season. Can you talk about whether there's any fears about kind of burning him out at all?
It's so easy to play players big minutes now because of all the stoppages. If you watch the way coaches play their top players, they kind of nurture them along until you get into the stoppage situations, and then you can hammer down because you got. It's like a full rotation. 90 seconds goes on forever on the bench, and like I said, once you get to the 13 or 14 minute mark of any period, you got so many stoppages and breaks that you can play guys a lot, and I think it's the most overrated term to me. Anse Kopitar's been playing 23 plus minutes for 10 years now, and he doesn't look like he misses a beat, so it's not a big deal.
Coach, what is the latest with Puljujärvi? Where he's at? Where do you think he's going?
I don't know yet. I mean, he's just learning. So his learning curve is sharp. He's getting better. I still think his strength is his forecheck and his great stick. So we'll see. We'll see how much he can create offensively as time moves on. But right now, he's an effective player. Right now, he's a third-line player with us, which is for a 20-year-old is pretty significant. So overall, we're pretty happy with him. You know, can he get to another level as far as player offensively? We'll see, but that's going to take time. But right now, we trust him on the ice, and he's, like I said, he's one of the best forechecking players we got.
He said he's trying to focus on overall game, like 200-foot game. Do you think that's, you know, at the same time he's trying to create something in offense?
Yeah, well, I think 200 feet is with and without the puck. We're trying to get his puck play better. We already trust him without the puck, so we're trying to get his puck play better so he can make quicker decisions under pressure. He's getting better.